What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Red Couch with Max Power. I am Max Power, and as you can see,
Todavía está rojo.
it is still red. I'm joined by, for this special episode, I'm joined by Santa's Little Helper, a.k.a. Paisley. That's you. And then Mr. Bumblebee Man,
Hola.
a.k.a. Antonio Picante, a.k.a. Chris.
I go by many names.
Chris, what are we doing here today?
I don't think we got enough Simpsons when we saw all the Halloween episodes. Was it 30?
30. 31. No,
we never
30,
saw
30.
30.
Okay, 30, yeah, 30.
So, over the last couple of days, Scott and I, we saw all 19 Simpsons Christmas episodes.
Yes.
Not including this year's. So, 19.
Yeah.
And instead of ranking them, we're just going to do the top 5.
That's still kind of ranking.
Yeah, but we're not doing all of them.
Yeah, I'm not doing all of them because there's a lot of rough ones.
And the last one doesn't count for me because I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's how good it was. But in our defense, we did watch that one.
I think we've seen it before.
We watched that one a couple of months ago together. We were together when we watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do our top 5 favorite episodes. We can.
You can take a guess what number 1 will be.
Yeah, I bet you we have the same number 1. We don't know each other's lists. We just made them up as we go along. Now we made them up before we started recording, so we don't know which one. But I have a strong feeling that we have at least 3 or 4 the same. I bet you one will be different, but 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, kick it off.
On that note,
what's your number 5?
My number 5 is the episode She of Little Faith. Do you know where I'm going with this one?
I think. Hold on.
Oh, are you on the list?
No, it's not on my list.
Not on your list? Okay. This one was one of the earlier ones, and it's when Lisa decides that she's going to become a Buddhist.
Oh, that one.
I really like that one because it just it's kind of different. You know, you don't really get to see like like on TV, you don't get in family. It's always like the Christian way, or the complete opposite, where like you don't believe in God. You never get to see like other religions. So to see like a main character of a show, even though it's a cartoon show, like going through those life issues, like this religious like battle that she's going through, especially around Christmas time, for her to like, and then she gets to meet Richard Gere and Lenny and Carl, like, and it shows them that there's other people. So I really thought that was a cool episode. I liked it. What did you think of it? Did it stand out? It didn't stand out. It'd be your top 10.
Yeah,
it'd be your top, even though it's only 19.
I know, right? Yeah. It makes it the top half of the good episodes. So yeah, it was all right.
I just like seeing the other side of like religion, like where it comes to like TV shows, and like, you know, they're a little bit different. It's the same with like when Paul McCartney was on the episode. With Lisa, she became a vegan, and they were like, "We'll be on the show, we'll be on the episode, but Lisa has to stay vegan forever." Like, and I mean, they've kind of stuck to it. I think there's a couple episodes where she eats meat, but you know, whatever. It's a cartoon. Your number 5, sir.
You son of a bitch! Kill Gil, volumes 1 and 2.
Ooh.
And
all right.
So
that's your number 5. Ooh.
So just to be upfront, now since we're just started on our list, after maybe the 4th or 5th one, most of these were completely new to me.
We actually had a little bit of an argument because I was a little disappointed that you haven't remembered them, but you explained why, so
yeah,
I'll forgive you for that.
And not to mention, the first episode of the series is a Christmas episode, and then they don't go back to it again until like season 7.
Yeah, they skipped around.
Yeah, and then
that's the reason why there's only 19, because they don't do one every year. They started doing one
at first
every year. Now, like every season, so it's a little bit different, especially the older stuff. But the early seasons, they were just going. The first season didn't have Treehouse of Horrors.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit, you know.
Man, I thought the story was hilarious. Gil stayed almost a whole year with him just because Marge couldn't tell him no.
I think you I think that was the episode you laughed the most while watching them.
Possibly.
I think like laughing per minute was probably that one, or like another episode that was on there. But yeah. So Lisa gets Gil fired at the mall, and then they invite him for Christmas. Then he stays for 11 months because Marge can't say no.
After the holidays.
Then
after Christmas, and then it was New Year, then it was Martin Luther King, then it was Valentine's Day, then it was Arbor Day.
There was Air Conditioner Appreciation Day or something like that. And then Marge finally gets the courage to say no. And
he's gone.
And he's gone. He moves to Arizona, and Scottsdale, Arizona, and he becomes the number one real estate agent. But then Marge gets mad and
gets him fired.
She drives all the way over there. She gets fired, and then they buy a house in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they do
the Christmas thing again. Yeah.
The best thing about that episode is the grumble. That was his first episode. The grumble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell them about the grumble.
That's just like a Grinch parody, but
yeah,
him and Homer have this almost. It's almost like the cowboy, the chicken and Peter in the Family Guy, but just not obviously extreme like that.
And only on Christmas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But he pops up in random episodes too sometimes, like in the background and stuff.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
Yeah. It's the funny thing about this, watching I'll come back to that part. Yeah. That's a good episode. That would probably be 6 or 7 on my list if we went to a top 10.
All right.
That's pretty entertaining. All right, my number 4.
Your number 4.
Holiday of Future Past.
Whoa.
I like this one. Is it on your list?
Perhaps.
Ooh. All right. Well, this episode goes into the future. I don't remember what year it was, but it kind of shows you how the family progresses through the years. And then Lisa marries Milhouse, and they have one kid, Zaya.
No, Lisa was dating. She was dating a girl, and then she was in a poly relationship, and she had 2 girls. While Maggie ends up in the band.
Yeah.
Maggie's pregnant. Nobody in the band wants to admit that it's theirs.
Yeah. But Lisa and Milhouse are married. They have a kid. Bart is divorced, and he has 2 kids. And then Maggie's pregnant. And then for some reason, all of them decide to go home for Christmas in their own separate side stories. I just really enjoyed it. I like seeing future things because, it's, they literally just had they're on the 32nd season.
Yeah.
And they haven't aged. So it's all, I always like seeing like a what if kind of thing,
Yeah.
So seeing Bart being what did he say he was a 40-year-old trying to pretend to be a 20-year-old instead of a 20-year-old pretending to be a 30-year-old or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Simpsons episodes is that one where they go forward in time for Lisa's wedding.
The fortune telling.
Yeah, for Lisa's wedding. So the fact that they did the callback and did the whole episode this way, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's I just enjoy it. Like I just think that getting to see a glimpse into the future is pretty entertaining. What is your number 4?
Miracle on Evergreen Terrace.
Okay. Which one was that one?
That's where so Bart's trying to get up early so he can open up the presents before everyone else. Yes. And he gets a fire truck for Christmas, and while he's playing with it, like he electrocutes and runs into like the over jammed wall socket. So like a whole bunch of plugs like on it, and the tree catches fire. Bart hides it outside, buries the evidence.
Yeah.
And claims that somebody broke into the house and took it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, that fucking episode.
You don't remember that one, right? Or do you remember,
I remember that one.
Yeah. I think it was the episode after that. You don't remember.
Yeah, the 4th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and that would probably be 6 or 7 on my list.
Really?
Yeah. It's really fun. It's really good.
There's so many little parts to it. Like they get together, they find the guy, they buy the car, they barely drive it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's my number 4.
All right, my number 3 is Skinner's Sense of Snow.
Wow. Okay.
Remember this one?
No.
This one is when they have a snowstorm and the kids get stuck inside the school. And there's Skinner's. Yeah. He has the flashback.
I've seen parts of that one before. I don't remember seeing the whole thing.
I always liked that episode. I always thought it was funny. Like Bart going, Diddy Mao. And he's like smacking him, and he's smacking him with everything. And then obviously, every kid's worst fear was being stuck at school when they didn't have to be, So like,
really?
I mean, I never wanted to be in school. I definitely, if there was a snowstorm, I'd be like, no. So it was cool to see that. I think that's a kind of a kid's.
Wow, I guess I'm in the minority there.
Yeah. You like going to school?
Nope. Nerd! Nope. But I remember I was in the school's first ever lock-in. So it was like we're studying. They were trying to cram for like the standardized testing for the state. I forgot what STAR test or whatever it was at the time. So that weekend, like they locked us in from Friday at 5 o'clock. Or no, I think it was Friday at 7 o'clock at night, and they let us out Saturday at 7 o'clock in the morning. And they locked us in there. So like the first 3 hours, we would actually learn the things that we needed for the test.
Goddamn.
And then after that, the school was open, man. Like they were showing movies in the auditorium. People were playing basketball.
Yeah, but that's fun though.
Yeah, but they got you get locked into school, and that's how long the kids were locked into school in the episodes. So I was like, man,
no.
That reminded me of
like things. That's two different things. You're going into the school to be locked in, and there's games, and there's videos, and there's stuff like that. There's girls. That is perfect. But
that's perfect.
If you're where are you going? If you're on a Saturday and you want to have fun, and then you're like, oh, I'm stuck in school, that would be horrible.
Especially if it's snowing.
Paisley just ripped
oh
ass.
Man.
Yeah, Paisley ripped.
Did you feed your dog hot Cheetos?
No. She just kept.
How do I suddenly want hot Cheetos?
She's just potent, I guess. Hide your head in shame, little girl. I'm just kidding. You can come over here.
We're on number 3?
Yeah, you're number 3.
Oh, classic.
Don't rip ass, Paisley. Come on, up.
Marge be not proud.
Ooh.
Okay. That's on my number 3. There's a lot of like little jokes in there that are just memorable.
Yeah.
I don't do it as often as I used to when I was younger, but whenever I would talk to somebody, I would always say, "Catfish."
Catfish. Catfish.
Did you understand everything, boy? It's like everything except the fish.
That should be a good one to do. Explain the episode. Give a little.
So the episode, it's nice. It's a nice little episode. Bart gets caught shoplifting because he wants Bone Storm, new video game, and the security guard tells him, "If you ever come to my store again, you take you to juvenile hall." And then they wind up going anyway for family pictures. And apparently every family picture that Bart's in, he doesn't take it seriously. And so they get this new picture where Bart getting pulled from the security guard, and Marge hangs it on the wall, and it's all crooked. So Bart redeems himself by paying for his own solo shot.
Paid in full.
Yeah. And Marge puts it in the frame, and it like balances out. It was nice.
I like those.
Back when those episodes were still wholesome. There was that gap.
That's what I was going to say.
There's that gap that we were watching towards the end of the night. A couple of nights ago, we did the first half of all these episodes. Mo was dying almost every fucking episode. I'm like, man, this is hitting a little too close to home.
I was gonna get into that one. I was gonna get into more detail.
Shit, man.
My number 2 is the same episode, so that's my number 2. I love those wholesome episodes. It was good. It was good to feel good. I kind of feel like everyone's been in that situation, like you stole something or. Doesn't have to be like
that one thing you're embarrassed that your parents know about.
Yes. And so then to do something really nice like that, and just go get a wholesome episode. I like it a lot.
Okay, so I gotta ask.
What?
What's the one thing that you're embarrassed your parents know caught you doing?
Oh no, I don't know. No. I don't know. I'd have to. It's probably an off-air thing. I'd tell you an off-air thing.
Okay.
Sorry, that's bad. Something should be known.
Sign up for her OnlyFans and you'll find out.
Yep, OnlyFans. Mine's is cheap too. It's only $5 a month for all the content. Number two.
I laughed a lot. I think I laughed the most in this episode. Holidays of Future Past.
Okay. Okay. I was like, what? Which one?
I love the whole future thing. And all the little that's a wholesome one too, because they're, like you said, they all have their different threads in the story going on, and this somehow
which I think early Simpsons did that really well.
Yeah.
Like different storylines. Not so much now, where it's just they had Katy Perry and stuff like that. But
I wasn't complaining about Katy Perry.
I mean, I wasn't complaining about looking at Katy Perry, but that's.
And to be fair, I was a fan of that whole Muppets.
Yeah, puppet, I was too.
Simpsons Muppet I was too. For that episode.
Didn't make our list. Yeah, just because that was one skit. I'd like to see a whole episode like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 15 minutes would be better. Whatever. Yeah, it's a great episode.
Another one that I saw for the first time tonight. Actually, tonight we saw it.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, first time I've ever seen it.
I feel like I think our both our number ones are going to be the same. I kind of have a feeling. So my number one is Simpsons roasting on an open fire.
Of course.
The classic.
Is
that yours?
Yeah, of course. It's the first ever actual Simpsons episode, and it happens to be a Christmas episode.
And not only that, obviously,
perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I pulled her up. As obviously, you can tell, I'm a dog person, so it feels a feel good story of a dog getting abandoned, and then a really cool family picks it up, you know?
Yeah. But that's not the whole story.
I know.
The story is Homer's trying to make... Homer doesn't get his Christmas bonus.
No.
Marge has her own little nest egg that she has to spend on a tattoo removal for Bart, because Bart thought a mother tattoo was...
Is that the same episode? It was like, hey, you better hurry up. No, that's the earring one. Hey, you better hurry up. This is turning into a Starbucks. And then it's all becoming a Starbucks. Sparkle, sparkle. That's a different episode. Yeah, I mean... Explain
to me how an 8-year-old survived a tattoo that long. He already had moth written on it.
Yeah, he had the outline too. He had the heart.
Yeah, everything.
He had everything but the E and the R. I don't know. Because he just goes, ow! And that's it. I'm like, man, boy. Did you scream when you got your first tattoo? No.
No?
No. Did you? Yeah. Sure?
No, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure?
My friend was surprised. This one was the first one. No, this one was the first one.
I was like,
the Star tattoo. This one I just got.
You just got
the Star tattoo was the first one, and my friends would tell me that this was one of the most sensitive places to get a tattoo.
Well, maybe further down.
Hey.
No, like right here. Like on your neck.
Oh.
We're just gonna start talking about. We're gonna have to do an episode about tattoos.
Oh shit. Right. And like the end of the show will be the both of us getting our Duff Can tattoos.
Oh yeah.
2021. Buddy.
Yeah. So it's the first episode of The Simpsons. The characters look weird and sound weird, and I love that the weirdness that comes from it. Yeah, the moth tattoo. I've seen so many people get that. Simpsons inspired tattoos.
So Homer ends up becoming a part-time Santa, so he can make some money, and then after all the work that he put into it, he got deducted taxes, costume fees, training, Social Security, Santa's Christmas club for next year. So he only had $13, and they wound up going to the track because
Barney says, "Fuck it, he's gonna go." He's got a shoe in,
10-1,
and then right before the race, one of the dogs gets pulled out, and it's replaced by Santa's little helper. And so, of course, being Christmas, what was the odds?
99-1.
99-1.
Yeah, so 99 times 13. That's like 1,000. That's over $1,000.
Yeah. So, of course, it's Christmas, and so Homer thinks that's going to be the right thing, but Santa's Little Helper is just a waste of space, and he sucks.
He doesn't even finish.
He doesn't even finish the race. That's one of my favorite scenes too, where he's like, "Let's wait until he finishes the race," and then it is a long pause while they're watching. No, let's just go home. Let's just go home now. I mean, he didn't even get even close, and then the owner kicks him out and says he's all right, and Santa's Little Helper jumps into Homer's lap. And
he's a Simpson.
He's a Simpson, and he's been in it ever since. And at the end, he
shows off because the Patty and Selma were dogging him the entire fucking.
Oh yeah, which they always are.
Yeah. That's the episode. That's number one.
Well, that's our number one. Is there anything else on there that you? I did want to kind of talk about the Mo stuff. As a kid, I was completely oblivious to any of that. Like, it didn't even dawn on me. There's a lot of fucked up shit in The Simpsons in those episodes,
dude. So, and some of the later ones. One that got my attention specifically that would probably be my number 6. I don't know what I can't remember what else happened around it, but most of it focused on Elf on the Shelf and Maggie.
That was creepy.
But the way it
Gnome in a Home. It was called.
When the doll was in the crib and to see the color starting to change for a split second, I was like, I didn't know we were watching Halloween episodes.
Yeah,
because it was freaking me out. But it kept my attention, and it made a lasting impression, honestly, because we're talking about it right now.
And the fact that this is probably one of the first times they've continued a storyline like that.
Yeah, because they're like 2 episodes later, they went to the theme park.
There was signs of the same gnome, but I guess at the same time, Elf on the Shelf is really popular, so every year it happens. It's not like it was a one-off thing, so I can understand why they keep the gnome into the background. But that, man,
just like the Grumples have been in like several episodes too.
In some form or fashion, they're always in there.
Yeah.
It was interesting, I think, but the Mo stuff just got me. Like, I just
nooses.
Yeah, almost every Christmas episode, someone is hanging themselves. Almost every episode that was in there, like towards like those kind of episodes with Mo, and then there's like scenes of Gil doing it, and like they have like murder, and there's like Homer was hanging when he fell out of the roof. So like almost every single episode of Christmas special on The Simpsons has someone committing suicide or being hung or something. Yeah. So I thought that was a little like, I mean, it blew when I was a kid. I don't remember seeing any of that kind of stuff. I just cartoons.
Do you think that there's actual kids? So we got introduced to Simpsons in like what, our teens, early teens?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was
like 8, 9.
Yeah, I was young.
You think that there's kids 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old watching the new episodes of Simpsons right now? Or you think it's just the nostalgia people that grew up on it that are watching it now?
Well, I mean, they're still in the air, so they have. I want to know what their ratings are. How many views do you think they're getting? Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think kids are watching South Park and Rick and Morty. That's the generation.
Yeah,
because now I don't think families sit around and watch TV together anymore.
No,
like that was literally a tradition in my house. Was Sunday nights it would come on Sky One, and I would watch the episode. We'd all watch it and have dinner. We'd all watch it, like brothers, whoever's in the house, parents, brother, sister, whatever. We all sat around and watched it, and then I went and got my bath, and I was in bed because I had school the next day. So like it was a tradition. Kids don't do that no more. They might go watch a movie at a theater together, but like,
yeah. I
mean, obviously I'm different, but I was like with my family, so I watched shows with my family when they're here. But like I don't think people don't hang out with each other like their parents and watch. They might jump in and watch an episode if they're bored, but like nobody's like, hey, it's Monday night.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore, so I don't think kids are watching it. I think kids are playing video games and then watching Rick and Morty and
going to bed
and drinking Mountain Dew and playing Call of Duty. It's just
gotta get that 2 XP, man.
It's just that constantly. So they might watch it on Hulu if they're bored. Yeah, so it's kind of sad. That's why, like, I don't want to be that person that says the Simpsons suck, but like the newer stuff isn't that good. But it's like, man, I think they should have just wrapped it at season 30.
Mm.
Nice little, neat little bunt, like, just the perfect amount, because now they got to go to like 35. But then,
and they got to go to places like Scottsdale, Arizona.
Again, yeah. But, like, when are they going to stop? They're going to stop at 35? They're going to stop at 40? Like, I'm not like.
Would you watch The Simpsons if it was still called The Simpsons and they're just like, they fast forward a couple of years and they're teenagers now? And the parents are older and Maggie actually talks? Would you watch it, or would you consider that still The Simpsons?
No, I mean, no. I would not watch it just to see. Mm-hmm. I need to see the progress.
You'd be curious for a couple episodes.
Like, if it turned it on, it was the same stuff, just with them semi more adults, I'd watch it just to see it, but I mean, I'm not watching this like current season. Like, I tried, and it just wasn't entertaining for me. So, like, why would I watch a new version? But I'd check it out first to be like,
just to be
is
sure,
it worth it? Yeah. And then if I like it, then I'll keep watching. If not, probably not. I just think they should have just wrapped it up in one like season. Like season 30, and just be like, we're gonna do a couple episodes, and it's gonna be the end of the show. And then everyone can buy the DVDs and the box sets.
Yeah, I'm expecting Otto's bus.
That's got to be it.
This big, and it's gonna fucking this. It
has to be.
But now that Disney bought it, you're not gonna get the Michael Jackson episode. You're not gonna get the fucking. There's like, I think there's one more that they won't air.
Well, you can't get it. It's not on the Disney.
And it's not on Disney. Yeah. I still own it because I have one of the original box DVDs of that season.
I mean, I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
I love that episode. Yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes on there.
Lisa, it's your birthday.
He turns his hat around. Yeah. Anything else on the Christmas?
It was actually a weird like contrast because we saw 30 Halloween episodes, and at least half of them felt like filler.
Yeah,
like missable. Like I wouldn't miss. My life would be better if I never saw them.
Yeah,
but I'm guessing because even then the Halloween ones that were most of them I hadn't seen before. These for the most part. We have our 3 or 4 classics that we grew up on, that we've watched over and over. But the new ones, like I wasn't expecting the new ones to be as high on this list as they were. I don't know. Other than there was one episode where they tried to do the Halloween gimmick and like parody movies, like Polar Express and a couple other ones. I wasn't a big fan of that.
You don't like the flashback ones either.
When they like
Moses were like
there was an episode of that too.
Yeah, I don't like
but
those.
There were a lot more like ratio wise. There were a lot more hits in this Christmas pack that we saw the Halloween stuff. Yeah,
I would have to agree. I think also the fact that it wasn't there wasn't 30. It wasn't every season had it. Yeah, where you could be like, man, like these episodes are getting. Because you can only do so much.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be completely opposed to it since they had already made their own special little intro for the holiday ones towards the end, and you're watching to see what like the one one of the few changes was the sleighs. So it was the scene where they're recreating the car scene with Marge and Maggie, but instead they're riding a chariot with four dogs pulling the chariot behind them. And then they pull up next to Mr. Burns and the hounds. And then the next episode, which was like a season or two later, it was the family and it was Maggie and Marge with the greyhounds. Then it was Burns with the dogs with the hounds, and then it was Cat Lady with the cats.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, like a season or two later, they added
penguins.
Was that Krusty?
No, penguins.
Penguins.
Krusty was the leader.
Krusty with penguins. And then the 5th year
they scrapped it. They skipped it.
I thought that was 5.
They just skipped it. They just went straight into the house.
Okay.
They did 3 in a row. They did 3 episodes in a row, and then they skipped it, the last one. which sucks.
I would have been curious to see what they would have added next.
Maybe they couldn't think of anything, I guess.
Bumblebee Man with some bees.
Oh, that'd be funny. That's one. Why was that a Christmas episode? So there's an episode on so if you go on the Disney app website
and on Wikipedia.
Yeah. They list all of them, and on the Disney app they have them in order so you can watch them one by one. And then there was an episode where the bees are dying, and so Lisa saves the bees, and then Mr. Burns becomes a basketball team owner.
Oh, he won a basketball team on the bet, and so he gets advice from Mark Cuban, the actual Mark Cuban.
And so, but there was nothing to do with Christmas, but it was on that list of Christmas episodes.
Well, I'll have to check into it off the air.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was
It had nothing to do with Christmas. It was about bees. I guess it was just because it was like the same month. Maybe they just I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
it was good. I didn't hate watching them. Like, I didn't want this thing to be over.
Because when we were doing the Halloween ones, there was like a 4 or 5 or 6 episode run of episodes that were like, like poor. I think that it wore you out. That it wore you out. Like, you didn't want to see what the next one would be because you would think it would be like the last 4 or 5.
Yeah.
This one was quite the opposite. The Christmas ones, they made a lot of different spins on the Christmas episodes to where they didn't feel like they were repeating the same kind of theme.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, Christmas is the theme, but beneath that, like they made each of them unique. So I'm a much bigger fan of 19 Christmas episodes over 30 Halloweens.
Yeah,
you know? So
I'll be interested to see what the next one.
20, which the one we missed this season, but it's not going to be available on Disney till.
I mean, it's on Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu already.
Yeah. Well, if it came out.
So, but I fell asleep at 19, so we weren't going to go to 20 anyway.
No.
And it didn't help that your neighbor Patrick was also asleep, and we're staring at him. And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm next.
I just had these 2 people snoring just one the whole entire time.
It was only 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
It felt like an hour.
Oh shit!
That's the end of the episode.
The picture. Oh wait,
no, we're not doing that. But we will talk about beer. This is my last can of People Power from True.
Hey, I knew it tasted familiar.
So,
how'd you get that?
You went to Colorado.
Yeah.
So that's what we're drinking. It's a double IPA.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
It's like 9%, I think. Yeah, 9%.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
It's late and it's the middle of the week, so we decided to go half on it. So
yeah. So Merry Christmas. Because I'm going to put this out on Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Happy holidays to everyone else that celebrates stuff on Christmas. There you go.
I did it.